And welcome to episode number 19 of my podcast. Before I give you another cheese, if you don't know, now you know. And if you don't know, you should. This is the bottom line. And I am your host, Davidson Baker. And I am joined today by a very special guest, two-time prepubescent McCord of the year, Jordan Rose. Jordan Rose, how we doing?
Doing well. Thank you for having me.
Dude, thank you for coming on. We've been trying to get this episode done for a while. But
I know.
Schedules have conflicted, but here we are. Let us know where you're. Where are you joining me from today, Jordan?
Today I am in Sylvania. I just finished running at the Timberstone High School. Did some sprints. Did
Timberstone become a high school, Jordan?
Usain Bolt called. He called me. He said, "Hey, let's get going."
Yeah. What'd you say back?
I said I'm not that fast. Maybe next year.
Maybe next year. Okay.
That's about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Well, we have an awesome podcast for you today. Usually some of my podcasts are tailored towards certain discussion topics or certain areas that will stay focused and focusated, if you want to be fancy, on that one area for the entire duration. But however, today we're just going to be kind of freelance discussing, what's been going on. And I don't think anything bigger has been going on in the past few days than the trade talks in the National Basketball Association. Jordan,
Yep.
What do you think?
Yep, you're right. And especially, what was it, 2 days ago, or was it yesterday with Kawhi? That was yesterday.
It was yesterday morning, I believe.
Oh. The thing,
yeah.
What gets me is that he might not even play next year. So why would the Raptors do such a thing to DeRozan? DeRozan was the man in Toronto. He's best friends with Lowry. I don't get it. Well, here's the thing. Also, LeBron did go to LA, and that was the one thing that they could not get past yet.
Yep.
And they weren't going to get past Celtics. I don't think anybody's going to get past Celtics in the next, you disagree?
I don't disagree. I think you're probably right, but I think that there will be some challenges.
Philadelphia, I would say Philadelphia is probably the closest thing that would challenge them. But now,
you're
Toronto, if let's say Kawhi even does play, that's a 1 year rental because he's going to LA probably right after that, join forces with LeBron.
Right. Here's my thing about this whole thing. One thing that's kind of bugged me about it all is I've seen consistent headlines and topics of discussion say, do we have a problem with how Toronto with how Toronto dealt this way with DeMar DeRozan? I think the answer is if they wouldn't have already brought him in. I don't know if you're aware of this, but they brought him in earlier this week, apparently, when there were trade talks surfacing, and they assured him that he would not be traded.
Did not know that.
So this is where I begin to. That's a report I read from Broussard.
Chris, ESPN?
No, well, he's with Fox
now,
but yeah, he was with ESPN for forever.
Right.
But he's over with Fox now, and I did read on a beat report by him that is something that he heard through the grapevine. I don't have a problem with you making business decisions when ultimately the NFL, the NBA, the MLB, and the whole lot have become very business oriented. Right. However, I do have a problem with you looking right in the eyes of a guy that gave his blood, sweat, and tears for your organization for multiple years and lying to him right to his face.
Right. I agree with that. And that I don't know if you saw Isaiah Thomas tweeted like loyalty. It's just another word, and it's kind of becoming like that. Like he was the man in Boston, and now he's just not like. I think he got the veterans minimum. This guy was like almost MVP.
Did, man. He was supposed to get the max this summer too.
Isn't that incredible?
It's unreal. He made $2 million on that contract he signed with Denver. He did go to Denver, right?
Right. Yeah. Yes. So.
Yeah.
I mean, it's becoming a business in these leagues in the NBA, NFL, and it's a shame because some of these guys, I don't like. As us as fans, we don't even realize like that these people are raising a family there. They have houses and. They're like DeRozan was there for I don't know how long. What was it, like 6 years, 5 years maybe? And
Yeah, I think give or take 6.
yeah, and now he's got to move all the way to Texas with his family, and all of a sudden, like, he had no clue because they, according to this Broussard, that they told him he was staying. So it's like not fair at all.
Nope.
And it's a shame, especially with those deals. It's not fair, but I can see that there's some where I guess it's both player. It's like a mutual deal.
Right.
But yeah, this is I definitely agree with you on this one.
Now, from the looks of it, on the face value of it, San Antonio won this trade.
Absolutely, correct. It's not even close.
They got away with a heist, my man.
Good for San Antonio.
Yep.
Round of applause. San Antonio.
There it is.
Good for them. Not only that, I think Podol, that's how you pronounce the guy's name, he's not bad, right? He's a big guy, and he can do something. And you got DeRozan.
He did very well off the bench.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got DeRozan, who's great. And I think they have a first-round pick, but it's protected. But let's say Kawhi doesn't even play. What I read, I believe, I could be completely wrong, but it's like 1 through 20 protected or something. Could that be
okay?
And if they don't get it, who is it? San Antonio. If they don't get the first-round pick, then it turns into 2 second-round picks the next year.
Okay, that makes sense.
Let me ask something. How do they do that? How do they make a trade? How do they make these rules like that for a draft pick? You know what I mean?
So here's how it works. It's kind of like, if you want to add an extra bargaining chip to the table that could be there and or could not or could make a trade that much more enticing. However, this is where you begin to put your gambling cap on if you start to do that, because we really have no realistic idea if the Toronto Raptors, if Kawhi doesn't play, are the Toronto Raptors going to be in the bottom 20, ergo anything other than the top 10 best records in the NBA? This pick basically means if Toronto is not a top 10 team in the NBA, we get to keep the pick, and you can have 2 of our second-round picks.
Yeah. You're right. And I don't even think, speaking of that, I don't think they're going to be a top 10 team next year, even let's say Kawhi does play.
Yeah.
You think so?
No, I think if Kawhi does play in the conference that the East is, I mean, like we've said,
right. Well,
who are some other blue chip teams in that conference? You got Boston, you got Philly, who else?
You got the up-and-coming Pacers.
Yeah, but when I mean like contenders.
That's about it. Those 2
to win the East.
Those are the only 2 who will go to the finals in the next 5 years, I think.
Broussard actually reported today too. He went on Cowherd today and said that, for whatever it's worth, that Kawhi Leonard is warming up to playing with the Raptors. And all I got out of that is like, okay, you're reporting that a guy that just got traded to another team is warming up to playing basketball for another team. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, what a shock.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's just such a shit show, especially because, I thought LA played this whole thing out well. I won't be one of those Laker fanboys that sits down and when someone asks you, who won this trade between the Lakers did. The Lakers won this trade. I'm not going to do that. But I do think they're sitting in a good position where they might look like the smartest people in the room, having not given a damn thing for him.
They could have given away everything
him for free next year.
Right.
Yeah, they could have. Yeah, I think they were smart not to pull the trigger.
They were going to give Kuzma,
No,
they were not going to give Kuzma.
Well, no, they were. I was just saying, no, you can't do that.
You can't give away Kuzma.
No.
I'm a little disappointed that the Lakers didn't go after Randall, because I think that he would have been like the second best player on that team to LeBron this year.
Yeah, no, I thought he was the second best player on that roster.
I don't know why they would get rid of the guy. He has so much potential.
It was apparently Randall requested for his rights to be renounced.
Oh, well, it's a shame.
And with the Lakers knowing that they probably are going to need an open max slot, they probably at that point wanted to keep their hands off.
Right, that makes sense.
That was something I don't think the Lakers planned, but he came. That's just what I read. This could all be bullshit, but what I read is that he came to them and asked for his rights to be renounced.
It's interesting. Well, I mean, it's good for the Lakers, I guess, but not for this year. I don't think this year they have a chance. I think the Warriors are that's just such a deep route with them. But
if you do not play in Oracle Arena, you don't have a chance.
they have no chance. You have no chance. If you,
no chance.
It's just like, it's not fair what the Warriors do. It's not fair that, Cousins, who could have gotten a max deal at several places, even though he had a very bad Achilles injury last year.
Yeah, he won't play till February anyway.
That's what I'm saying. So even let's say he didn't even go to the Warriors.
Right.
The Warriors still win it all. I think they still win it all.
Easily.
They're too good. You can't. I don't know who else they got this summer besides Cousins, but they're just loaded. That starting five, it's like an all-star starting five. You can't beat that.
Jordan, the starting five in Golden State is like the United States men's basketball starting five if you take out LeBron.
Yeah.
No, it literally is. It's
It's
not an all-star game.
If you take out LeBron, yeah, you're right.
And if you wanted to start Draymond at the forward instead of Anthony Davis.
Right, there you go.
Which, depending on the coach, could be realistic.
Yeah. That's not,
here's my thing about that, and then we'll move on to another high-profile trade that went down today. The thing is with this is I think LeBron heading to the Western Conference just made the Western Conference Finals the real finals.
Right. No, absolutely. No. Whoever wins the West at all.
That was probably the case this year, too.
Yeah, it's probably the case until I think the Warriors break up. Right?
Yeah, I just don't – we could always be wrong, but, there's always a chance, but you never know what could happen with the injury bug. But that being said, it's highly unlikely. They could have two guys out for the season and still be probably the best team.
And that's something. And that's something that's incredible. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Let's say Chris Paul does not get hurt. They go into Game 7 in Houston, and they beat the Warriors.
Yep.
Do the Warriors break up?
No, not until next summer.
So Durant would sign a 1-year deal or same deal?
Yeah, I think he'd come back. I think one of the big dominoes that's going to fall next summer is I don't know if you've seen the list of free agents for next summer.
It's incredible.
It's by far not even close, not even an argument, the greatest free agent class in the history of the National Basketball Association, hands down.
You might as well skip the entire season.
Not even close.
You might as well skip this entire season, and then let's start over next year.
With all of these guys that are going to be max deal contract worthy, and, there are guys that, are already kind of penned to be probably on the go. Jimmy Butler being one of them.
I think Jimmy and Kyrie, they team up.
They could. That's all the NBA is now.
I hear the rumors. I can see it happening. You think Jimmy Butler is really telling people that he can't stand Karl Anthony Towns? That's
what I've been seeing.
But think about what's going to go down when they see each other in the locker room. How do you even play? You don't even play. They both know that they hate each other.
You've been reading it's Towns. I've read Wiggins plays an integral part in that whole riff.
Hate each other, and I don't know how you fix that. I don't know how you play with that. I think they might just have to trade, beginning of the year. I don't know.
Yeah,
you can't play like that.
These trades become tricky too when you know that guys might become 1-year rentals.
Right.
But the Thunder got lucky. Because, yes, we did give away Oladipo, and, yes, that ended up stabbing us in the back. However, I don't think Oladipo's production would be at the level that it is if he was playing alongside Russell Westbrook anyway. However, that being said, no one, including myself, the mass majority of people did not see Paul George coming back to Oklahoma City. I didn't start believing it until
the party?
Around mid-June. No, it was around 2 weeks before free agency started. I started to get this hunch that he was going to come back.
I kind of started getting a feeling when ESPN, when ESPN did that little thing with him about you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
And I thought that was just an easy sign. He's going to the Lakers. They're going to show him, beautiful LA, but why would he do that to Oklahoma City? And it kind of made sense, probably a week before Russell Westbrook was throwing the banger that he
threw a huge banger.
Yeah,
Nas was there.
Who?
Nas.
Oh my good friend Nas.
And they were smoking cigars and
maybe sipping on a couple brouhahas.
Yeah, brouhaha, shark bait brouhaha.
Shark bait brouhaha.
Brouhaha. Wait, is that your thing?
Shark
Shark bait brouhaha?
It could be if I really want it to be, but
You'd have to probably get it trademarked.
I could. I don't know if anybody was gonna think it's funny besides maybe you and me.
Yeah, I think it's pretty funny.
Right, but we got a lot of people out there gonna have to spend a lot of do re mi on this trademark, and
Spend a lot of do re mi. They will. All right. So, news came out today that the Oklahoma City Thunder have gotten rid of the $28.7 million that they would have owed Carmelo Anthony. Now, here's something, Jordan, that I don't understand too. Is the whole act of, and I do understand it, like I understand how it works. I just don't understand the thought process. Because the Thunder have agreed to here's the exact press release. The Oklahoma City Thunder have agreed to trade forward Carmelo Anthony to the Atlanta Hawks, where he will be waived and become a free agent immediately.
Yeah, right away. I saw that.
The Atlanta Hawks send Oklahoma City Dennis Schroeder, and Mike Muscala heads to Philly. And then the Thunder
was this a three-way trade?
Yeah, with the Sixers.
Oh, wow.
The Sixers send Timothy Luwawu. How do you say his name? Timothy Luwawu Cabarro. I know. He's French.
Got one hell of a last name.
Say his name though. Yeah, hyphenated and everything.
That's big time. You know it's big time when you have a hyphenated last name.
Yeah, like how Maurice Jones drew.
Oh man,
That's a great name.
That's a great name, MJD.
It really is. It really is, especially when it used to be Maurice Drew.
Oh, so he just threw in a Jones.
Yeah, there was some story behind all that. I don't remember what it is.
You know what's a great one, too? Safarian Jenkins.
Austin Safarian Jenkins.
Yeah.
Safarian is one, too. Safarian.
I've never even heard of that word, that name until him.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah. Sorry, but let's get back to the spread.
Oh, you're good. So we are. That's the whole point of this, buddy. We gotta freelance, flow through the waves.
Here's one thing I was thinking about. Dennis Schroeder's pretty good.
Yeah, he is. And Atlanta has this guy named Trae Young though now.
I'm very aware. He could be a bust, but he looked like he was struggling a little bit in the beginning of this summer league.
He's looked better.
But no, he got much better. I think he's going to be pretty good, but he's got they got to work with him, I think, and I think which they will. I mean, that's what you do in the NBA. Steph Curry didn't start out to be the best, and I'm not comparing him to Steph Curry, but I would like to say he has similar traits to him.
I was about to say it wouldn't be too difficult.
Right, he's fast.
He's faster than Curry.
Trae Young's faster than Curry.
I saw him play in person, Jordan. Whenever I was visiting.
When they played that team that he had 27 assists against?
Yeah, he had 20 assists.
Oh, that's great stuff.
I was there in person, and one thing that you cannot coach, and if you're a sports fan of any caliber, you know this saying. One thing you cannot coach is speed.
Or Tennessee Tech, right?
You can, yeah.
You can't coach this, no.
You can shred, those milliseconds or ticks of seconds off, but you can't coach someone to be quick. And this guy, I could tell, it just glides with the basketball. And he had such high turnover numbers because not only did he not have any help really on the team, he was really the only. It would be a shame to say he was the only primary ball handler. He was the only ball handler, period.
On that team, the entire team. Yeah, I agree. Well, is he going to have any ball handlers on Atlanta? To be honest, I can't think of one player on that team besides Schroeder, and now he's gone. And Muscala. Those are the only two guys I know. Can you give me another name?
Besides Muscala and Schroeder?
Yeah.
Oh, they have they drafted. They drafted
no Millsaps. No.
What's the guy? Kevin Horder from. And they drafted Omari Spellman from Villanova.
Okay.
Here, let me pull up their roster.
And that's something you can't name one guy.
I mean, could you name a guy on Sacramento right now?
The guy Bagley.
Other than no one that was drafted. Name me someone on Sacramento that wasn't drafted.
Vlad Divac back in 19-0. Mike Bibby.
Okay, that we're talking right now.
Chris Webber.
That's not right now.
Yeah, no. To be honest,
they still have Kent Bazemore, but he's a free agent next summer. We're talking about Atlanta.
Vince Carter, Vinsanity.
He's like 58.
Yeah, he's balding.
Yeah,
He's
no,
balding.
balding.
He's been balding since he entered the league.
I'm about to say, been balding since he graduated high school.
He's a big bald guy. You know what I mean? He just loves being bald.
He actually just started a new business, Big Balder Brand.
Oh, he's part of the BBB.
He's part of the B Bald B.
Oh, okay.
You got to put the parentheses in there.
Well,
listen, okay, but Jordan, listen to this. I'm gonna name you. Bang, bang, bang. This Atlanta Hawks roster. Can you do me a favor and try your hardest not to laugh? All right.
I already.
This is an NBA roster. All right. You got.
Oh, hey,
then you got.
Was not bad. I should have known that.
Yeah, and John Collins is good too.
Yeah.
Then after that, you have DeAndre Bembry,
I've never heard
Antonius Cleveland, Dwayne Dedman, Malcolm Delaney, Tyler Dorsey, Jeremy Evans. Oh, hey, Jeremy Lin.
Oh, that's right. Hey, congrats on
Miles Plumlee, Torian Prince. That's it.
That lineup should be illegal.
That is horrible.
That should be a criminal offense.
They're beating the Warriors in 4 games.
Easily.
Easily.
In wherever what's the name of the stadium in Atlanta?
They play at Phillips Arena.
Yeah. So Phillips Arena. It's gonna be buck wild. I don't see Golden State standing a chance. Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely not. 2 Chainz right in the front row, giving these guys slaps on the ass. Yeah, they're right there. So did you catch any of the Open Championship today, Jordan?
I did. I was watching primarily my guy, Tiger. He's a beast.
He started off well.
When he birdied the first hole, I was at work and I was just giving a ton of fist pumps. Everybody's looking around. I was like, all right, nothing's really, I calculated something on my computer. It was great.
Magnitude of the fist pumps between 1 and 10.
Here's the thing with Tiger. His swing this week, at least, the first round, just looked so nice and smooth. And, I don't know if you saw this. Did you see what he was on his neck? It was like...
Yeah, he's wearing these pads.
Yeah, is it... did they say anything about... I didn't catch that. Did they say there's something wrong with his back, maybe?
I've been at work for a large part of the day, but all I saw was the little glance of a headline about the pads he was wearing. I do not know the purpose.
Well, it seemed like he didn't seem like he was his back didn't affect him. He wasn't in pain because he was hitting it great today.
Right.
But man, he went even today. He could have easily shot 5 under. He had a couple bad holes, and which happens at Carnegie Steve, especially at the Open, and I'm very confident that he's going to be in contention on Sunday. Very confident. To be honest, I don't want him to be in first place. I was telling him until obviously at the end of the day.
You were telling Tiger?
No. I was telling everybody at work today that he shouldn't be in first until at the end of Sunday, obviously, because he does not need that pressure. He's got so much pressure already. Everybody's thinking that he's done, washed up, which he's not. But
you think he's got all this pressure on him?
Yeah. Oh my, Davidson, he hasn't won since like 2013.
See, but here's the adverse side of it. But he also, what's the big picture here? No one's talking about how he hasn't won a golf tournament since 2013. Everyone's talking about how he hasn't won a major since 2008.
Yeah, that too.
And here's the thing: does that put more pressure on you, or does it make it kind of like you have this chip lifted off of your shoulder that no one is expecting you? I get it. You are Tiger Woods.
You're Tiger Woods.
There's always going to be an expectation. However, at this point, Jordan, it's been a decade.
I know, but and I don't know if you see the crowd following him, but it's just massive compared to everybody else. And,
it's nuts.
And I don't know. I'm not Tiger Woods, obviously, but if I were somebody like that in his shoes, then I'd be a little bit pressured with all these people, watching me at this tournament. And then keep in mind that when he plays on TV, viewership goes up like 3 times. So everybody's watching him. Everybody's talking about him. He's all over social media when he's playing. And that's got to get in your head.
Yeah. It's
such a mental game that, he stands over the ball just a little bit thinking about it. And the next, he's he hits the ball in a sand trap or something like that, and you're out of the hole.
Right. Yeah, I saw flashes of brilliance, and that same spark of intimidation that Tiger's given off, for many, many years.
You understand the game is dying. Golf is dying because Tiger has just been gone.
It needs Tiger.
Golf needs Tiger so badly. Golf courses
I
all
agree.
over the world are just closing and shutting down. And I don't know what they're going to do with this land, but it's just, everybody back in the day, Davidson, when he was great, they would be booking tee times, and you'd have to call like weeks in advance just to get a tee time. Now the course is wide open. They got to charge more because they're not getting a lot of demand. It's a shame. It's really sad. So hopefully, maybe this could be the week, knock on some wood, that
just knocked on some wood.
Okay, hey, thank you for your service.
Yep, you're welcome.
And hopefully this is the week where he really can put it together.
I'm rooting for him too,
same.
man. I really am.
The thing is also golf is that there's so many guys who are good now that Tiger used to just be so much better than everybody. He used to outdrive everybody. He used to put it so much closer to everybody. And when Tiger would be on Sunday, Sunday Tiger, and everybody heard, Tiger's coming up. He's lurking. He just birdied 2 in a row.
He's wearing red.
Everybody be freaking out. Everybody would panic, and then they would just fall apart, and Tiger would win.
Yep.
That's how it worked. You can't do that anymore. There's so many good guys. You got Spieth. You got Fowler. You got
Johnson.
You got two Johnsons.
Yep. And Thomas.
You got so many guys that are good, and they can be good at any given time. That it doesn't really affect these guys anymore like it used to. So it's a completely different game than what Tiger used to be playing back in the day, which makes it great. But at the same time, the game's it's still dying because Tiger was such a figure of the game that when he still is, but it's just not the same. And I hope, as I said earlier, I hope this is the week.
Oh man, you and I both. So last serve of our last issue with current events going on right now. Manny Machado getting sent to the Los Angeles Dodgers yesterday.
Manuel Machado. Is that his name?
How much?
Manuel. Manuel.
I really don't know. I feel like
Manny.
It's got to be short for something.
Gotta be. Man.
It's really got to be.
What if you just went by man? What up, man? Nah, you know what?
No. I mean, because people are just like, hey, man.
Yeah, right. They could.
Man,
Which they could.
Was kind of hard to. But you've got to imagine that this probably is so helpful for the Dodgers going into the second half of the season.
I think. Well, here's the deal: the Dodgers are now. I think if their pitching could get together, they're the team to beat in the NL.
I don't see how they couldn't be.
I do not believe that they won this deal in the long term. I don't think Machado signs with them after the season. Are you aware that Corey Seager is on that team and he is injured? And when he comes back, he'd like to play shortstop. I think he would like to play shortstop.
Yeah, I think he would too, and I don't think Manny Machado would like to give him back shortstop.
Right, and I think that the Philadelphia Phillies would like to pay Manuel Machado.
Manuel.
Yeah, our dear friend. Manuel.
Spelled same as Manuel.
Yeah, Manuel.
Without the A at the end.
Yes, correct. And I think they would like to pay him lots of money to fill a void at shortstop down there in Philadelphia. And and they gave up so many prospects. They got, 5 players for him?
I believe so.
Here's the deal. I'm not saying he's not worth it, because I definitely think he is. He's best hitter in baseball. But he's one of the best hitters in baseball. You got a guy named Mookie Betts and J.D. Martinez out there in Boston. And
yeah, they're okay.
Yeah, they're not that bad.
Yeah, they're all right.
I would have them on my recreational league in softball or something like that. But
they can coach my kids' t-ball team if they want.
Absolutely. I think they'd be exceptional t-ball. But you know what?
Let's
move on to how Manny Machado would be an exceptional t-ball player.
I think that ball's going 550 feet every time.
I agree, and I think he played exceptional defense in t-ball. I think he'd just run the show. I don't know how he'd work with teammates that are let's say
4 years old.
There you go. Yeah, 4 years older or so.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, Manny Machado,
I'd be like, fuck, man.
Manuel, Manuel. I think the Dodgers are going to win the NL pennant. It's a shame because I'm a Cubs fan, and they're just, I don't know how you beat that hitting. You got Kemp, who's on fire. You got Machado now. You got Justin Turner, who can come back. You know, he's not doing so well right now, but he broke his wrist earlier in the year. That's probably why.
Right.
And you got a ton of other guys who contribute, like Puig, Jock Peterson. You got this guy who's pretty good out there named Max Muncy.
Yeah, he's all right.
He's okay. He hits some home runs. He's kind of weak, to be honest. And
Machado's numbers, I think, man, have been kind of like drowning in being forgotten just because of how bad the Orioles are. I mean, his numbers are fantastic.
he's exceptional. He can't do any better on an Orioles team like that. The Orioles have absolutely no hitting. Did Machado bat third on that team?
I'm not sure where he batted in the order of the lineup.
Let's say he batted third. That means that he probably was hitting with 2 outs every single time.
Every time.
And that's like
on base percentage is up near 400.
And that's, you know, that's the best you can do on that team. They can't pitch. He doesn't get pitches probably because there's 2 outs all the time. And
Jordan, they're 41 games under 500.
Oh, that's so bad.
How? You want to talk about what else is so bad? Chris Davis' contract.
Oh, Christopher.
So bad.
He
I think he's batting 175.
Well, I think he's a big fan of just swinging and missing. You know?
Yeah, I think that
he's a part of the swing and miss program.
He rewrote the book on not hitting the ball, but getting paid millions of dollars to continue that trend.
He is a part of the swing and miss program. Exceptional program to be a part of. A lot of players involved in that program.
God, Jordan, you ready for these numbers?
Yeah, let's hear them.
Oh my God, 158 is his batting average.
0.158 is what you're telling me, Chris Davis.
0.158.
Do you know what the Mendoza line is? Because he's very, very under the Mendoza.
Is the Mendoza line like 260?
It's 200. 200.
Oh, I thought it was a lot higher than 200.
I could be wrong. I think it's 200. You might want to look that up.
Yeah, I am. Mendoza line. The Mendoza line is
210. I'm going to say 200.
Yeah, it is 200. It is
200. Wow, he's very below. You know you're bad when you're below the Mendoza line.
Yeah. And when I'm looking at this, the stats on the homepage right here, Baltimore Orioles batting stats 2018. And, you know, it's got a picture of the guy who leads the team in batting average, home runs, RBI, on-base percentage, OPS, and hits, whose picture flashes across all 6 boxes.
For who? For Baltimore?
For the Baltimore Orioles.
For this year?
Mr. Manuel Machado.
Oh, Manuel.
Literally,
Yeah,
Machado.
Now
Machado.
I can't. Well, I can. You know what? They got some guys on there that should be good. Like, you know, they got Adam Jones, even though he's a little watch up. How do you pronounce the second base? Is it Scoop? Shoop?
Jonathan Shoop.
Jonathan Shoop should be good.
Yep.
But he's not.
Let me just remind you again, Chris Davis batting 158.
Yeah. Remember, swing and miss program.
9 home runs, 116 strikeouts.
Do they play him because they're just paying him so much money that they feel obligated to put him in there? Or
yes. Jordan, let me say it again. He has struck out 116 times.
I'm telling you, he enjoys that. That's his thing.
What the hell is that? And do you remember his contract that he got earlier this year?
He's doing the numbers. He's beating the odds. And to be honest, he's remaining humble. He's checked all 3 boxes.
All of them. Dog, he signed a 7-year, $161 million contract earlier this year for that.
Wow.
To do that.
Shame.
Unbelievable. Jordan, shall we move on to our segment where we are giving out our most outrageous sports blunders of all time?
Let's do it.
Let's do it, Jordan. So me and Jordan are going to go over our most outrageous sports blunders of all time. We have a few that we would like to go over, and I didn't include, and just because, you know, the typical person would probably include the J.R. Smith thing, so I didn't have it in my list.
Wow. I'll be honest.
Just because I didn't want to be basic.
That's okay. We can all assume that he was going to be in it, you know, but we won't say it.
That's what I'm talking about.
He could be one of our honorable mentions. He's an honorable mention.
But is he not on your list?
Oh, he was number one on my list.
Okay, for
Number
sure.
one. He was my first round pick.
There you go.
Okay, but
so let us know another
okay.
one.
You know what? It's okay. I got plenty of picks. I'm gonna do it right now. Are we ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
All right, with the 2018 Sports Blunders first pick, I'm gonna go with my guy down in Wrigley. His name is Steve Bartman.
I thought about picking that one.
My dear friend Steve.
He changed his name, bro.
His name. You know what? I feel bad for the guy.
Me too.
But I'm pretty sure he had.
Not anymore, though.
No. Steve Bartman. He is. Well, here's the deal. I think he changed his name. I think he, changed his whole appearance. So I think he's gone forever. I don't think anybody will ever see Steve Bartman again because he.
Did he really change his appearance?
I'm pretty sure he did. Well, here's the thing. Couldn't sell his home because nobody wanted to buy it.
Wow.
I know. Isn't that something?
Well, I mean, yeah, because people that were like huge Cub fanboys were probably looking up where the dude lived.
I know. Well, here's another thing about the whole
scary
situation. I don't know if you knew this, but the very next pitch, the Cubs had an easy double play, but they blew that too. Do you know that? Did you know that?
I was watching the game, but I don't remember that. I bet you a lot of people don't remember that either because they were probably still up in arms about what had just happened.
Yeah. Oh, of course. So yeah, Steve Bartman, my number one pick.
All right. So what I'm going to go ahead and go with, it just really, I didn't pick in really any order. I think they're all equally bad. And I'm in the mood in the season of the British Open. So why not John Van de Velde's triple bogey on 18? Isn't that great?
That is a great pick.
John Van de Velde's triple bogey on 18 at the 1999 British Open at none other than Carnoustie. Carnoustie is the host of the British Open right now. Felt like it was meant to be.
That was a great pick.
He had to take his shoes off.
He had to take his shoes off, and he was like, you know what, this isn't for me. I'm gonna take a triple bogey. All he had to do was make double, and he couldn't even do that. I saw the hole today when I was watching Tiger. It's like 489 yards. It's a pretty tough hole.
They did a survey. BBC.com did a survey last week when they were at whatever tournament was like the week before the British that all of the PGA guys go overseas to play in. No. The one in Scotland, not the John Deere.
Yeah.
But the whatever tournament that everybody was playing in from the PGA Tour last week to get ready for the British Open. They did a poll there, and they surveyed, I think 40 golfers, and I think it was tied 18-18 between the road hole at St. Andrews, hole 17, and the 18th at Carnoustie, the toughest holes in all of Open Championship.
Wow. Yeah, no, I mean, that one at the old course, you have to hit over a hotel. That's odd.
And you talking about St. Andrews?
Yeah, is that what you said? Is that what you said?
Yeah, it's 17.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
What, you can't even see the fairway. So, I would say that's probably the toughest hole in the Open history. But this Van de Velde, he found a way to just absolutely ruin a hole. He hit a driver on the hole, but all he had to do was hit an 8-iron every 3 times. He'll put it on the green, 2-putt, 5, go home with the Cleric jug. But he decided to be greedy, and it's a shame because he's known for blowing the Open Championship.
Right.
So it's a great pick on your part.
All right, Jordan, give us your next one.
My next pick, the second pick I have, is the Seattle Seahawks coach, Pete Carroll.
Oh.
So in the Super Bowl, what year is that? Is that 20? That's 2014, 2015, right?
2015, I believe.
2015. Dear friend Pete Carroll decided to throw the ball from
at the
2-yard line, and I think he forgot, Davidson, that his running back is Marshawn Lynch, I believe it was. Yeah. Marshawn, dear friend.
All someone had to do was tell him that his running back's name rhymed with Farshawn Sinch.
Yeah, and then he would be like, "Oh, I gotta run the ball."
Got it. No, he'd be like, "Oh, okay, got it.
Got it. All right, change play. Audible. We're gonna run it instead. But no, you know what? He decided to throw the ball to Malcolm Butler, who, by the way, should have played in the Super Bowl this year, but he didn't. That's just a hot take. But
not a hot take. I think that's a nice cold take. I think a lot of people would agree with you.
Okay. And yeah, you're right. It would be a cold take. And then, but yeah, that's probably one of the biggest blunders of all time. They had it in the bag. Could have beaten Tom Brady. But this, you know what? This is not the year for us. We're gonna throw it to the wrong team.
Could you imagine Pete Carroll
looking at
his
everybody,
offensive coordinator, being like, guys, you know what? It's not the year for us.
He's looking around. He's looking around. He's about to give his team a pep talk, and he's like, you know what? Actually, this is not the year for us.
Let's throw
the ball. Russell's looking around. He's like, "You want me? I'm gonna
throw. Do you know this ball? Like, I'm gonna throw."
Do you know Marshawn? Do you know who Marshawn is?
Oh yeah, dude. I think that deserves to be up there. I'm gonna stay in the sport of the NFL. How about in 2015? Week 6. Let's stay in the NFL season 2015. How about?
Okay.
Week 6. The Indianapolis Colts run a fake punt against the New England Patriots. That still to this day, they say that those are things that you're going to tell your kids and your grandkids about. I don't even know how to explain, though, what happened. They snap it. They snap the ball to the up back, who just kind of just stays there. And then he just gets hit immediately.
So bad.
It's
so bad.
And like the Patriots defensive line, or for that punt return team, are just for a second. We're just looking at him like, that's it.
Okay, all right. That's what they were saying.
So do we tackle? Okay, all right. Let's tackle him.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it,
dude. I mean, shit is. It was wild. What else you got?
All right. My next pick for the biggest blunder in sports, I'm going to go with we're going to move to college basketball. I think you probably already know what I'm going to choose.
I think we might have the same one.
Former Sacramento King.
Yep.
A part of the Michigan Fab Five.
Yep, we got the same one.
Chris Webber. Webber decided that their team...
Hey, it's not our year.
Huh?
He decided it's not our year.
He said he looked at the bench before the play. He looked at the bench and said, guys, look, next year. We got sophomore year. Wait, was this?
And they all left for the NBA.
This is the second year. This was, right?
Yeah.
He was like, you know what? This is now a year. I'm just going to go to the NBA. I've had enough playing. But no. First of all, here's the thing, Davidson. He traveled on the play, and then he got away with it. And he was like, all right, well, here's the thing. Anybody would have done the same thing as him.
Right.
When after you travel like that, you just got to run.
Right.
All right, like, I don't want anybody seeing this. I got to go. So he runs to the corner, and I think he forgot he had ball handlers on that team. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to call a timeout. We're going to run a play. And then everybody's like, are you stupid or just dumb? We don't have a timeout.
I think he said he was just dumb.
Yeah, they all looked at him. It was kind of like a LeBron J.R. Smith, but I think obviously the LeBron J.R. Smith thing is worse in this situation. But
that'd be interesting to take a poll of 100 people and see which one's worse.
It's tough. You got to think about it. Well, here's why I think it's worse. J.R. Smith has played for like the longest time I can think of, and he's a professional basketball player. Chris Webber was in his second year of college basketball. I think he could have been a teen for all I know still. And, he's on the biggest stage of his career at that point. And I think they're a little bit different. And it's a shame because Chris Webber, he probably did not mean to do that. And that's what he's going to be known for in his career. But he is a great announcer. I'll give him that. He does a nice job at announcing these NBA games. And
does a great job.
He had a pretty good NBA career, not the best, but that was my pick.
So, and are you I'm on my last one now that we both had Chris Webber. And was J.R. Smith part of yours?
Yes, but
So do you have any left?
I got plenty. But you know what? You can do one, and then we can get some honorable mentions if you want.
Yeah, that sounds great. How about the Los Angeles Lakers? This is one kind of outside of the box.
Okay, I like it.
So right after the Cavaliers win the NBA Finals, was that now two summers ago? Okay, 2 summers ago. Right after the Cavaliers win the NBA Finals, Timofey Mozgov becomes a free agent. Played an average of, I think, 1.8 minutes a game in the playoffs. Played an average of, I think, 8 minutes a game the whole season and averaged less than 3 points and less than 3 rebounds a game. I believe, to my best knowledge, or maybe 3 points and 3 rebounds per 48 minutes. And the Lakers say, hey, you know what, guys? We should pay that guy $16 million a year. And everyone in the front office was just... And they said, here, Timofey Mozgov, have this free money. And to this day, Timofey Mozgov's contract continues to be arguably the worst contract in major North American sports history. 4 years, $64 million, and now he is he's just being passed around like a hot potato. He got traded to Brooklyn. Brooklyn, I believe, traded him to Charlotte. Was it Charlotte?
I think it was Charlotte.
It's like, but who would look at that contract and be like, "Oh, that was a great idea"? No one.
Nobody. No. I think.
What the hell?
I think maybe a T-ball team. Speaking of T-ball, I think maybe,
no. Here's what I think happened: the pirates in that movie that were with in the Tom Hanks movie, that the I'm the Captain Now pirates.
Yes.
Yeah, they raided Los Angeles Lakers front office headquarters.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They escaped from the movie set and they raided and took Jeannie Buss, and put a gun to her head. A little dark. But it's my only explanation to say, I'm the captain now. You pay Timofey Mozgov $16 million over 4 years. And they're like, okay.
All right. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
You know what? Let's do it.
Like, okay. I think it's a great idea. They're like, you tell us it's great idea. Great idea. Great idea. Please don't kill me. Great idea. That's what I think happened.
That probably happened.
I can't think of any more logical explanation as to why someone would say, hey, yeah, that guy, 4 years, $64 million, do it right now.
Yeah. You know what? I can't think of any. I can't
either. I can't think of a better.
I can't even. Yeah, you got me stuck. Good for you. Hey, congrats.
It's just terrible.
Terrible.
Just absolutely terrible.
All right, let's get
Jordan, reel off some honorable mentions for us.
All right, so a couple people that we forgot. Darko Milicic, I think he was a blunder.
Oh,
Greg Oden,
second overall pick, 2003.
Greg Oden, he was a blunder.
Yeah, these are big draft blunders. What about Ryan Leaf? You got him on there?
I was gonna just say Sam Bowie before Michael Jordan. That was probably a draft blunder.
Yeah, probably.
I would say the trade in the draft, Kobe for Vlad. That was probably not the smartest of deals.
Some would argue.
I would say I got a couple more. Phil Mickelson. I don't know if you saw. 4 weeks ago.
Hitting. Yeah.
That was probably the coolest thing I've ever seen.
I loved it.
Yeah, it was great. No, yeah, it was like the coolest blunder you could have ever seen.
It really was so awesome.
Here's what his thoughts were in his head. He was like, you know what? Like, I just don't want to hit the ball like 10 times in this hole. I'm just gonna take a 10 in the hole by putting it again.
Right, especially when those greens were just
brutal.
So bad.
Yeah. And my last honorable mention is just the Cleveland Browns. I think the Cleveland Browns are a blunder.
Just the Browns?
Yeah, just the Browns.
Oh my God.
I think the Browns are a blunder. But hey, apparently this is the year. So
don't think this is the year. I think it could be the year in 2 or 3 years.
I think this year could be a 2-14 season for the Browns.
No, but I'm not even willing to sink that low on them. I think they could probably be. I don't think what's most realistic to me is anywhere in between 4-12 and 6-10.
All right.
All right. With that being said, though, because they're the Browns, and because you know what needs to be an honorable mention on there? How about the Browns front office right before the trade deadline earlier this year, trading for A.J. McCarron, who has 0 playoff wins, one regular season win. Bro, and they didn't get the trade off in time.
Because they were
and
celebrating.
Didn't send because they were high-fiving in the room. What the fuck,
that is
bro?
terrible.
Oh, my God. No, yeah, that really should have been top 2 or 3,
that?
to be honest with you.
You know, I might lose sleep over that.
Imagine going, just imagine this. Imagine your wife is a football fan, okay? Your wife, and you're working for the front office of the Cleveland Browns, and you were involved with that on that day. And your wife is very knowledgeable, and she knows what she's talking about. She could probably give a lot of your guys that you work with at the water cooler a run for their money when you talk about the NFL. Just imagine it. And you come home, and your wife goes, honey, did you have a tough day at work? And the news hasn't come out yet. The reports haven't come out yet. And you're like, yeah. She's like, what happened? It's like, well, we were supposed to get a trade for A.J. McCarron. She's like, oh, I mean, that's good because A.J. McCarron, again, has not proved himself to be a NFL starting or franchise quarterback at all.
Right.
It's like, well, why didn't you get him? Well, me and the guys were high-fiving a lot.
And we lost.
Send the paperwork over in time. She'd probably be like, you did what? You it's not like you were getting Peyton Manning at 32. Like, you were trading for A.J. McCarron, and you couldn't stop dapping your homies in time to send a piece of paper through a fax machine. Yeah, that should have been top 2, top 3.
Yeah.
That's fucked on our part.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Wow.
Yeah. Regardless.
Yeah.
Jordan, we're gonna send them out with my favorite segment towards the end, Pop's Picks.
Let's do it.
All right. So unfortunately, however, this was supposed to be the first, second edition of my segment, Pop's Picks, where I feature my father, David Sean Baker, in a separate recording where he's given me some picks. Unfortunately, he's been caught up with business, and I just actually found this out right before we went on the air. He will not be giving me picks this weekend.
Wow.
So it's just you and me, brother.
Let's do it.
So I got a 5-pack of picks, and we will see who ends up doing a little bit better. And because there is literally almost nothing going on in the world of sports, I mean almost nothing, we are going to go 2 in Major League Baseball and 3 centralized around the Open Championship. Both with Major League Baseball, Jordan, their 3-game weekend series between the Braves and the Nationals, and a pretty pivotal one to start the second half in the National League West between the Diamondbacks and the Rockies. Who do you think wins more games in both of those series?
So Washington, Atlanta, is that at Washington?
It is in Washington, I believe. Let me fact check that real quick. It begins tomorrow, and it is at Nationals Park.
And you got Strasburg on the mound tomorrow coming back from DL.
Against Anibal Sanchez, whose ERA is surprisingly 2.6. He's
pitching pretty well for the Braves. I'll give it to him.
Very well.
I think that the second half is going to be a big half for the Nationals. They really would like to get off to a good start.
Yep.
The Braves are a good team. They got a lot of young pieces that are going to be really good. I'm a big fan of Acuna Jr. I think he's going to be a beast. I love also Ozzie Albies and Freddie Freeman. They got a great trio in all 3 of them. But
Ozzie Albies' name is fun to say.
Right, I agree. But you got Strasburg on Friday. You got Scherzer on Sunday. I like the Nationals to win 2 out of 3. Everybody's starting to get healthy. You got a full week of rest for Daniel Murphy, who's probably one of the best hitters on that team. Had he not been hurt. You got a Juan Soto, who's great, 19 years old.
Rookie of the year, hands down in the National League.
Maybe Gleyber Torres or.
No, he's the rookie of the league rookie of the year in the American League, hands down.
No,
because they give out 2.
Yes. Okay. But yeah, no, absolutely. The National League, Juan Soto. So I have Nationals winning 2 out of 3. Then with Arizona versus Colorado, Arizona's good.
But Colorado's on fire.
Right, and so this is going to be a pivotal matchup, like you said.
They play each other actually 6 times in the next 12 days.
Oh, that's great.
Only reason I know that is because a buddy of mine I saw at a wedding last week is a huge Cardinal, or 2 weeks ago is a huge Rockies fan. And he had to, when we talked about the Rockies, that was the first thing he told me.
Your buddy had a wedding. Hey, congrats on the sex.
Yeah, man. Congrats on all the sex. Shout out Cam Hoskins.
And so now I would say, is this at Arizona?
It is at Chase Field in the desert of Arizona.
Okay. This is a tough one.
Where it is a very brisk 107 degrees
These
today.
two teams are like the same team when the Rockies are good, because I know they're playing much better now, but when they're both really good, they're just similar. The pitching is okay, but their hitting is just phenomenal.
Yep.
Nolan Arenado is just a beast. And then you got on the other side Paul Goldschmidt, who got off to a slow start, but now is just tearing the cover off the ball. So I'm gonna stick with the home team again in this one. I'm gonna take the Diamondbacks 2 out of 3.
All right. So I'm going to go with the Rockies. I think they're on fire. I think that their power can translate into any ballpark, let alone one with a mile-high elevation.
I think it's a different story if it's at Colorado. I think Colorado wins in Colorado.
Hey, man. Hey, let me read you an impressive stat about the Rockies. Okay? After I get this drink of water. That was a refreshing drink of water. Jordan Rose, that was some great water.
Great water.
All right, so the records, the Rockies are actually 28-22 away from home, and they're dead even 500, 23-23 at home. They're 6 games up over 500 away, and we're talking about the Rockies here. That never happens with the Rockies. Right. Never. I'm gonna go with them. I think they're on a roll. Okay. So now we have.
Would you take Nationals and
Washington?
Okay.
Yeah, I think pitching will be too much for him, but I think that division is going down to the wire.
I agree.
So now with the Open Championship, Jordan Rose, tell me if Tiger Woods ends this weekend below or under par.
He will be under par. He's going to have a big day tomorrow. He's starting bright and early, so you got to set your alarm early. And I'm telling you, his swing was so nice today. He was probably I didn't hear his post round interview, but he was probably incredibly disappointed in his effort because he hit the ball so well. So I'm expecting big things out of him, unless I hear something about this back, which I don't think is a problem, but let's hope it's not. But yeah, no, he's going to be under par.
I'm going to agree with you. I think it will be difficult, though, given the fact that there are only 2 par 5s on this entire course.
I know. He's in which he's for some reason he struggles in par 5s, and he hits the ball so far. So
far.
You don't really need a driver at this place. He can hit iron every single time. So I don't see how he can't make birdies or eagles on these par 5s. But I think it all depends on where your ball lands in your drives or in your tee shots, and just stay out of the traps, and he should be good.
So I'm going to agree with you. I think he will be under par as well. And now, Jordan Rose, tell me, does the Open Championship winner on Sunday win this tournament by over or under 2 strokes?
He will win it by over 2 strokes, I think.
So you're saying you're saying Jordan Rose. You're saying Tiger Woods.
Knock on wood. Yeah, I think once he starts getting
you should
on
go
a
cash
roll,
that bet, brother.
I think once he starts getting on a roll, and everybody starts, it's back to the old days, but hopefully, where it's Tiger's coming and he's lurking, and everybody's gonna falter, and he's just gonna dominate. That's what you gotta hope. But let's say it's not him, which I hope it's not. But I think somebody's just gonna have to pull away, and I think that's how it works here. Somebody figures out, these open conditions, and then they just end up pulling away. So hopefully it's Tiger this week.
Tiger Woods is you should go cash that bet, brother. Tiger Woods is 20 to 1
I know, I saw
to win the Open Championship right now, which is only, that's only 5th best. There's only 4. It's 5th best, but there's 5 golfers in front of him because 2 are tied for first best odds at 10 to 1 at the moment, according to Bovada. And one of those 2 golfers that are at 10 to 1 is actually my pick to win the whole thing this weekend. Given that we already have a sample size of 18 holes under the belts, It could be much easier to make a prediction. However, you never know what's going to happen with those gusty winds and really narrow fairways and treacherous greens that they have over there. But I'm going to go with Rory McIlroy.
Wow.
That's who I'm going to go with.
Hey, not that bad. Not that bad.
And I think he will get it done by over 2 strokes.
Okay. All right. Well, do you know what he shot today?
I think he was -2.
Oh, okay. You know what? That's perfect. That's all you need to be. Anywhere 5 to 6 shots back right now, you're in the game.
Yeah, and I think that goes down a stroke as days go by.
Yep.
Because what's the name of the man in the lead? Kevin Kisner?
Kevin Kis.
Is his first name Kevin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy Kev.
Yeah, then you have Finau, Van Rooyen, and Lombard all at 4 under. How about South Africa?
I know.
Representing.
Hey, South Africa. Congrats on the golf.
Dude, look at all these South Africans up at the top. Brandon Stone's right there at 3 under.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Well, my friend Jordan Rose, it has been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure. It's been real. It's been fun.
Has it been real fun?
Dubious. I'm dubious if it was.
And it happens every time I do a podcast. We planned on this being around 35 to 45 minutes. We have just eclipsed the hour mark, and I would have it no other way. For those listening to this podcast, thanks and support always goes out to my good friends over at betmma.tips and at betmma.tips on Twitter, where you can handicap or post your favorite bets and look at the best handicappers' bets in the business for a great price, low a month in their VIP package. Jordan is going to be a very frequent visitor on this podcast.
I'm going to be a recurring guest.
I was about to say, would you think anything otherwise?
I'd be disappointed. I'd be disappointed if I was not. Yeah.
I'm going to text you as soon as this is over because I have a fantastic idea that I am going to put into motion here in a couple of months, and I think that you would fit perfectly in the equation.
Love to hear it.
It's kind of a secret.
Yeah, no, we can't say it out loud. Can't do it out loud.
Right. This is episode 19, just to give those listening that are avid listeners, out of the very few that there are at the moment before, I blah, blah, blah. Upcoming schedule. On Saturday, I'm joined by my good friend Taylor Jones. It's going to be pretty similar to how this one went today. And then next Tuesday, my friend, is a big one you should circle on your calendar. Episode 21 is the fantasy football draft cheat sheet special with none other than Ben Hurd.
Wow.
Bro, he's pumped. I'm talking about top 10 quarterbacks, top 15 running backs, top 15 wide receivers, all the way down the list. He's going to give off his rankings for this upcoming fantasy football season. And then for those listening that listen to my Fight Fan podcast, next Wednesday, I'm going to be joined by none other than MMAtoday.com's Max Freeman. We'll preview UFC on Fox 30 next Saturday. That goes down in Calgary, Canada. So thank you again for listening. Jordan, you got anything else you want to say?
Yeah. Ben Hurts, I'm pretty sure in our fantasy league, sure he didn't win. So
no, he did not win.
I don't know his credibility for a fantasy football cheat sheet. In fact, I feel bad for all the listeners who have to hear him. You know what? If I were the listeners, I wouldn't listen to him.
Listeners don't listen.
Davidson's
don't
good. Davidson understands football. Ben Hurts, not a big football guy.
Ben Hurts a huge football guy.
He's a huge last place in fantasy football guy.
I love it because this is the trash talk we need to gear up for fantasy.
Yeah. Oh, I'm excited. Ben Hurts, I hope you're listening to this. Haven't talked to you in a long time. Would love to catch up about how bad you are at fantasy football.
I love it.
Hey, thank you, Davidson, for having me.
Thank you, my man. Hey, we got to do this again very soon.
Let's do it.
For those listening, I'm signing off. Have a good one. I'll be back on Saturday with Taylor Jones.
Peace.